Guys, I have a special guest for this content of football. We're going to talk some Josh Allen and Minnesota Vikings. I would like to present to you Dylan Galicio. Dylan, thank you for joining me today. How's it going, man?
I'm good. How you doing, Miguel?
I'm doing great. And if I'm not mistaken, yesterday was your birthday, right?
That is correct.
Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Everybody. Everybody will be watching this. Say happy birthday to Dylan. How How old are you turning? If you don't mind me, if you don't want to share, your age.
I
So
I just turned 20 yesterday.
20. Oh man, 20. You're off to doing great things. Everybody. Dylan, he's from Penn State, great institution, great school. He is the second person from Penn State that I've done collaborations, content creating, and you know, but hey, when opportunities present to you, you got to take advantage of it. So thank you, Dylan, for hopping in and collaborating on this content with me, and let's get to it. So Josh Allen, an NFL executive, nameless, we don't know who it is, it was nameless, said that Josh Allen is overrated. And that is a very idiotic comment, in my opinion, very idiotic. What we need to remember is that no matter how good you are, there's always going to be someone who's going to be better than you, or someone that is going to have more success than you. Peyton Manning, as great as he was, he had to go through Tom Brady and Bill Belichick in the postseason. Josh Allen is Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid. You know, in the last 4 seasons, Josh Allen, he has a 48-18 record, 20, over 20,000 total yards, almost identical to what Pat Mahomes have. He has 173 total touchdowns and 75 turnovers. The turnovers, he could dial it down a notch, but offensively, this dude is a beast, you know? Offensively in the AFC, I think of him. I think of Joe Burrows and Patrick Mahomes. But in my opinion, he's not overrated. It's not. And he can only do so much. Recently, Diggs is not in the team anymore. So it's going to be an interesting challenge for the Bills how they're going to perform this upcoming season. But what do you make of it about this whole Josh Allen thing being overrated, etc.? I mean, I personally don't agree with it, but I'd like to hear your take on it.
When Josh Allen was a young quarterback, I was the biggest Josh Allen hater of all time. However, my opinion has completely flipped. I love Josh Allen. I think he's the second best quarterback in the NFL, and there's no debate at all. If you look at every quarterback in the NFL currently, nobody has won since Mahomes hit his peak. Nobody. The only person that got a ring in that time is Matthew Stafford and Tom Brady. Right now, they're I think three or four starting quarterbacks if you include Russell Wilson with a Super Bowl, which are Mahomes, Stafford, Rodgers, and Wilson. And Josh Allen just needs to get over that hump, and people will be talking about him as one of the greatest talents to ever play the game. That's not a question in my mind. Just because he doesn't have an MVP yet and doesn't have the playoff success, being able to get over that hump yet does not take away anything from his game. Nobody has the rushing ability of him other than Lamar Jackson, and nobody has the arm talent of him other than Patrick Mahomes. And combining that together automatically puts him as the second best talent in the NFL. I don't think there's any debate. And as terms for the next season without Stephon Diggs, I think Khalil Shakir is going to take a really big step up. And I also think Keon Coleman's going to fill that role without an issue.
I personally believe in Josh Allen. I'm a fan of him. I'm rooting for him. So I really hope that the Bills um, can make that leap because we all know it's that one team, that gets in the way. Yes, he lost to Joe Burrow, which I believe was 2 seasons ago in the divisional playoff round. But I believe in Josh Allen. I'm hoping for the best. And I really hope that he heard about this NFL executive again, which we don't know who it was, cowardly. But but I really hope that Josh Allen sees that and fuels it to a point where he's just gonna go all out. So, but yeah, I really hope that the Bills can get over the hump because this is a franchise that, they're just dying. They're just dying for something magical to happen. This is the best Buffalo Bills team since the Jim Kelly, Andre Reed era, and that's a long, long time ago. So I really hope the best for Josh Allen and shut all these people up, especially that ridiculous NFL executive. I don't know, he's not watching. I don't know what the hell is he watching, but come on, come on, it's just
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I think he's a top five quarterback I've ever watched in my lifetime, which is only the last 20 years, as I said earlier. But I don't think you could put him many quarterbacks over him over the last 25 years.
So now let's shift our focus to the Minnesota Vikings. This month in particularly, hasn't been a good month for them. They recently lost Kyrie Jackson, who died in a car crash. And you go from getting drafted to bam, your life cut off short, 24 years old. And then 6 days later, Jordan Addison, who I got to see a little bit about him while he was at USC, got drafted by the Vikings. 6 days later, after Jackson died, he got into a second arrest now, and he got arrested near the LAX airport for driving under the influence of alcohol, and he is still dealing with DUI charges. So the Vikings are very upset about this because this is the second time he gets into trouble, and this is in the wake of you know them losing a player on their team. So it's a very dicey situation. What do you think about the situation? What do you think they should do with Jordan Addison? Because he needs to have some self awareness that, this is a young team. This is a team that has talent. We have JJ McCarthy. We have um, Jefferson on the team. So it's like you have the chance to succeed in Minnesota with all these pieces, and you're causing this distraction. So what do you make of it?
Yeah, I always think of off the field issues the complete same every time. I think the player should always be reprimanded, whether it's a fine. However, if it's not that serious, such as him sleeping in his car in this case, I understand it's a crime. However, nobody got hurt. He didn't really do anything wrong. I think that he just needs to get his act together. He needs to be a leader. He's going into his second year. He was one of the best players on the team last year offensively, and he has to have a talk with his coaches and the GM, and they have to let him know if he has another strike, they're going to cut him. He's going to lose his job. He needs to get his act together as a player.
Yes, I really want him to get his act together. I mean, this is a guy, he has potential. He has potential to be a really good wide receiver for this team. You pair him with Jefferson, and I feel that Jefferson, I don't know if he's done this already or maybe he will do it. He could be that vocal leader and tell him, like, get your act straight because we have something good going on here and I want you to succeed. So this is already twice now. He's what, 21, 22, whatever kick me, but still, that's where leadership and veteranship comes into play. Instead of, giving him the boot, just get set him straight, and hopefully he has some self-awareness to say, you know what, let me change my act around. And I hope that he takes a page from Vernon Davis. For those of you who don't know, or I'm going to remind you again, Vernon Davis, he was a tight end for the San Francisco 49ers. Publicly, Mike Singletary, Hall of Famer, world champion with the 85 Chicago Bears. While he was at the head coach with the San Francisco 49ers, he sent Vernon Davis to showers early because he didn't like the way he was acting. And it was that pivotal moment where Vernon Davis, he changed his life around and he transformed himself into this very good player. And it all happened because of Mike Singletary, setting him straight. And, hopefully he takes a page out of that. And because when I see a talent like him and has a chance to improve and grow as a player, I mean, that's what you want. And the Minnesota Vikings, this is a team that is not like um it's not a team like the Green Bay Packers or 49ers that they have this trajectory of winning. So they have something good going on. So I really hope that he gets his act together. As for JJ McCarthy, I like that. I like this kid a lot. I like his attitude. I like his maturity, his intelligence, the way he carries himself in the press and in general for a 21-year-old. It's impressive. Minnesota, they got themselves a quarterback. I'm rooting for him to succeed. I feel that him and Jefferson will click well as a quarterback wide receiver duo. So I like what I'm seeing. Will he thrive in his first year? We don't know. We will have to wait and see because you know how certain organizations they don't like giving rookies a chance right away in their first year. They might sit him out, they might not. But I do feel that whether he starts in his first year or not, I have a great feeling that he's gonna thrive in Minnesota. And so far, from what I've seen so far, videos and stuff like that, he likes being in Minnesota.
Yeah, in terms of JJ McCarthy, I went to Penn State, so I do not like JJ McCarthy at all. I think he's a very talented quarterback and has the potential to be a very, very good quarterback in the NFL. And I'm wishing him the best, but I will not say anything good about him. I did not like JJ McCarthy.
Well, he's a pro now, so we might have to change our opinion about that. But I hear you, Penn
True.
State,
But
Michigan, so I hear you on that.
I'll have
Um,
that bias over for at least the next 2 years. At least the next 2 years.
that's what I call the wound is still fresh.
Yeah.
But do you think that he will be a starter in his first year in Minnesota, or do you think he'll sit out? They'll have him sit out
I,
and
I think he should be the starter. I think he should be. But after what the Packers did with Jordan Love, they might sit him and let him develop for a year because he's a really raw prospect. I think it. I think he has to improve mentally, not physically. I think physically he's ready for the NFL. He's already an NFL athlete, but I think he has to improve mentally for the game. Like when Michigan played Penn State in the regular season this year, there's a reason the entire second half they did not throw the ball one time because they did not want him to mess up the game and throw the lead away in that game. There's obviously something there that we don't know about mentally about JJ McCarthy, in my opinion. But I think in terms of winning for the Vikings, he is their best option at quarterback.